What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and to a quick Overwatch League news video. Now, nothing insane happened, nothing really had to do with players retiring, getting traded, signing, etc. But we do have some caster news and the Florida Mayhem officially changing their colors from the McDonald's ones to their Vice City ones. And that's basically everything we're going to be talking about in today's video. I know it's nothing insane, but it still is new. They are changes, so why not talk about it, right? So first off, let's talk about the casters, and more specifically Doa, who has announced on his Twitter that he will not be rejoining the Overwatch League for Season 3. While this is really sad news since Doa's classic and he's one of the biggest figures in all of the esports commentating scene, I think most of us kind of saw this coming after Monte announced that he will be leaving the Overwatch League. Immediately after Monte said he was leaving, Doa did come out and say that he would consider coming back and that he was mulling his options, but in the end he clearly thought that coming back to the Overwatch League was not the best idea for his career. Now, Doa did put out this little twit longer explaining why he made the decision he did, and I do find it kind of interesting. I'm not going to read out the entire thing, but one point in particular is kind of alarming and concerning because his reasoning for leaving is basically the exact same as Monte Cristo's. So let's read this out, shall we? And I quote, "After a lot of thought, I've decided to move away from a full-time role at the Overwatch League in 2020 and explore other opportunities in gaming. It's been a fantastic experience working with my fellow casters, big brain desk people, and the incredible staff at the Blizzard Arena over the last 2 years. But due to some of the league's decisions over the last year in terms of creative direction, management, and resistance to input from veteran esports personnel, I felt it was time for a change." So what are your thoughts after reading this? Like I said personally, I am kind of concerned about what Doa said here, since him and Monte basically are saying the exact same thing as to why they wanted to leave. Clearly, they are very concerned about the management and the direction they are taking with this league. It's alarming to me that the league is basically casting aside or ignoring some of the recommendations and input from both Monte and Doa, unless they're asking for super unreasonable things, which I highly doubt because they seem like very reasonable guys and just really good people. Like, how could you do that? They've been in the esports scene for so long. I don't know how long Monte's been here, but I know Doa's going on like his 10th year. My point is, these guys have been here for a while now. They have a lot of knowledge and experience, so I feel like you should probably listen to them, you know? You guys know me. I love to be positive around here, but I am definitely concerned about all of this, and I really hope this isn't a sign of things to come. Anyway, though, a big thank you has to go out to Doa for all of the hard work he's done in the pro Overwatch scene over these last couple of years. It goes beyond the Overwatch League, too. He used to do Apex, and if you watched him during the League of Legends days with Monte, thank him for that as well. He's just a really hard worker in the esports scene in general, and I just really appreciate all of that hard work he's done. Doa was never really one of my favorite casters just because I thought that his banter and his jokes with Monte during games were a little cringe at times, but he was still a really good caster nonetheless, you know? He's great at commentating. He's been doing it for a while now for a reason, right? Monte and Doa's play-by-play commentary was always excellent, and it kind of is a shame that they're finally being broken up after all of these years, as they're both going their separate ways in their careers now. I wish them both nothing but the best in their futures, and I truly do hope to see them at like a homestand sometime or something. Okay, next piece of caster news. We have to talk about ZP, as he is finally joining the Overwatch League after all of these years. This is so well deserved. ZP has always been a solid veteran talent in the commentating scene, and I've just been waiting for the day where he finally joins the league. I'm not sure how the rest of you watching this video feel, but I think he should have been in the Overwatch League since day one. I think he's that good. Watching him in the World Cups and in contenders throughout the years has always been classic. I think he does a fantastic job no matter who he's with. He's just really good at synergizing with everybody, whether it's Jake, Avast, doesn't really matter who. He just knocks it out of the park every single time. And what's also cool is we finally have that answered question of who would be commentating with Jake in 2020, and I think most people assumed it would probably be ZP, if not Lemon Kiwi, since they're the only people to have actually commentated with Jake before, so seeing ZP get the job in the end makes a ton of sense. Big congrats goes out to ZP for earning this promotion. It's so well deserved, and it's been a long time coming. I am so excited to see what both him and Jake are capable of in 2020. They have the potential to become one of the new favorite casting duos in the league, I feel, so watch out for them. I think they're going to cast some really good games this year. Something worth noting is that it looks like we're going to have 2 new casting duos. I just talked about Jake and ZP, but also Sideshow and Bren will be becoming a casting duo. They're no longer going to be on the desk. To say the least, seeing them convert over to this position is really interesting, right? Because they were really good personalities on the desk, but I suppose in the end it does make sense that they have moved over to this spot. When you think about it, they have done casting in the past. Not a ton of Overwatch League stuff, but most recently we did see them go on the World Cup and do some of the group stage matches and everything, and they did a pretty good job. They weren't amazing, but they weren't bad either. It's also important to remember that the need for casters is at an all-time high since we're doing all of this traveling in the league this year, right? We can't just have everybody go to the same place all the time. That's not how it's going to work. Games are going to be taking place in different time zones and sometimes around the same time as each other even, so it's just impossible to have casters go to a bunch of different places all on the same day. As it currently stands, we have 5 different casting teams. We have Jake and ZP, we have Sideshow and Bren, Semler and Hex, Uber and Mr. X, and then I believe Achilleos and Wolf are coming back as well. It's not 100% confirmed, but I'm pretty sure they're coming back too. I don't know exactly what they plan to do, but I could totally see a scenario in which the Overwatch League has casters that are regional. Like, for an example, perhaps you could have Jake and ZP do the Northeast of America or something like that, or maybe they do the LA games. Then you could have Wolf and Achilleos do all of the Seoul Dynasty games because they live in South Korea. Just a few ideas to throw out there. I feel like they might do something like that. But yeah, now we have Sideshow and Bren plus Jake and ZP as new casters. It's going to be super cool, but that's basically everything I have to say about caster news, so let's move on, shall we? Now let's finally discuss the Florida Mayhem changing their color scheme. This is something that a bunch of people have wanted for a long time, myself included. I think their Vice City colors are so much cleaner than the yellow and the red. It's just not even close for me personally. If you've been a long-time subscriber, you know that way back in the day in April of 2019, I made a video talking about one thing I'd change about each Overwatch League team, and the thing I wanted Florida to change most was their color scheme. And one of the ones I brought up was their Vice City colors. I've been wanting this for like almost a year now. Now, I can't speak for everybody in this community because I know for a fact there are some people who actually did like their original colors, but from what I've seen, a bunch of people would have preferred for them to change their colors, so I'm glad they finally did it. And just to avoid as much confusion as possible, I wanted to make it very clear that this isn't just them changing their logo. Florida's doing a complete overhaul of what this team looks like, and this includes their jerseys and all of their other merchandise, plus their skins. In a sense, they're a brand new team. They've changed just about everything you can think of, and that's a good thing, right? Florida was a disaster in their first 2 years of being in the league, and change was something that needed to happen desperately. I mean, think about it. This team hasn't been very popular over these last couple of years. They haven't been winning many games, and there's a lot of bad rumors about them. Everything from Tavik having to drive the team bus to practice and to the Blizzard Arena every single day, to things like players fighting and the coaches not being very good. Everything's been so bad with these guys, but now's a chance for them to start off fresh. Now the roster looks relatively new compared to 2019. They have a new coaching staff at the helm, and also their colors look so much better now. I mean, those skins, they look so clean. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm getting a couple of those when they come out for sure. And with that said, that basically wraps up today's news video. So if you enjoyed it, then I would appreciate it if you could hit that like button and sub to my channel if you haven't already. And make sure to let me know what you think of Florida changing their colors, as well as Doa leaving the Overwatch League and ZP joining it down in the comment section. And until next time, this is ATP, signing out. Peace.